Have you ever experienced a ringing in your ears that sounded something like this?
If you have, that means you've experienced tinnitus, which is the perception of a sound in the absence of an external sound stimulus. In other words, it's hearing a sound that's not actually there. A lot of people experience this occasionally, but in 5 to 15% of the world's population, tinnitus is permanent or chronic. This affects daily life considerably, and people with chronic tinnitus often present comorbidities of depression and anxiety disorders, sleep disturbances, and increased sensitivity and emotional reactivity to sound. To understand what happens in tinnitus, we must first talk about what happens in normal hearing. Sound is received by the ear and enters the inner ear through the ear canal. Here it is amplified and then causes movement of a structure called the cochlea. In the cochlea, specialized cells called hair cells allow the translation of movement into a neural signal because of their connections with neurons.
These first neurons are located in an area called the cochlear ganglion. From here, the signal is transmitted to neurons in many areas of the brain. This is known as the auditory pathway. Chronic tinnitus has many causes, but a main one is hearing loss after prolonged exposure to loud noise, which is why it's quite common in musicians. In this case, specific hair cells are damaged, which means there's less activity going from the cochlear ganglion neurons to the other parts of the auditory pathway. The brain becomes aware of this reduced activity and tries to compensate by increasing the activity in neurons of these other parts. Unfortunately, this doesn't balance things out and actually causes these neurons to start being active by themselves when no sound signal is present. This is known as spontaneous activity. This tricks us into hearing sound. Tinnitus can also be triggered by a stressful situation. This is because parts of the brain involved in attention and emotional processing influence how we process sound. These non-auditory areas are part of a noise cancellation system, which cancels out activity that could cause tinnitus. In the brain of a person with tinnitus, this noise cancellation system is defective. Parts of the brain that regulate movement are also involved. This leads to a strange phenomenon where some people can change how loud their tinnitus is by simply moving their eyes. Currently, tinnitus has no cure, and while some treatment options exist, they are not effective for everyone. Many people are left to drown out their tinnitus with music while more scientific research is being done.